Hello everyone, my name is Tish and this is Daily Elevation. So, those of you know me as the author of From Abuse to Struggling to Who Am I? Those of you that don't know me, download my app right now and get my book. Because the topic that I'm finna speak of today is in my book. So download Daily Elevations and get my book right now. Alright, moving forward. So the topic that I'm speaking of today is afraid of being alone. So I know you guys probably wonder where she's going with that. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Anybody that know me knows that I like to speak from the heart. And not only that, I like to speak on experience. And another thing is, I like to be true to you. And most importantly, I like to be true to myself. Because if I'm not true to myself, then I'm not true to you. I got to be true to myself and real with myself before I can be real with you. Because if I'm not real with myself, I'm not hurting nobody but self. So I say that to say this. The topic that I'm speaking of again is afraid of being alone. So let me ask you a question. Again, you don't have to tell me, or well, I'm not going to know anyway, but be just true to yourself. I want to ask you a question. How many of you ever been in a relationship because you was afraid of being alone? Now, I know I am. I have. I've been in a relationship because I was afraid of being alone. And not only that, I was afraid of being a single mom. I was afraid of raising boys by myself. And if you read the book, you know that I physically and mentally was abused. So my days were I had more crying days than happy days. I had more crying days than happy days. Now, I don't know your situation. You might not even be abused, so this might not even apply to you. But if you feel like you're in a relationship because you're afraid of being alone, then ask yourself this. Are your days more happy or more sad than happy? Or are your days more happy than sad? And hopefully that can help you. Now, that was my message. No, I'm just playing. I'm tired. I'm joking, y'all. No, real talk. I'm hoping that my message really reached you today. This like been on my heart all day that I wanted to talk about this. If you sad more than you happy, then you should know. Well, hopefully you'll know. Me, my situation, again, I like to speak on myself. I was sad more than I was happy. I cried more than I was happy, put it like that. And I was afraid of being alone. I stayed in a relationship because I was afraid of being alone. And I was afraid of being a single mom. And I was afraid of raising children by myself. So I know you guys probably thinking like, wow, you went through that and you stayed because of that? Well, let me tell you something about myself. Before you judge me, you probably still judge me afterwards, which I don't care. I grew up in a household with both of my parents. So I wanted to give my boys something I had. So I tried to fight because I wanted to give them something I had. I wanted to make sure that they had both of their parents in their house. I didn't want to fail them at that. You get what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons I stayed. I don't know if you have children, you women or men, and I don't know if You stay in a relationship because you're afraid of being alone, or maybe you stay because you want your children to have parents. But let me tell you this. That was the worst thing I could have done. You want to know why? Because they were being affected by what I was going through. Little did I know. I couldn't hide nothing from them. I couldn't, cry in private. My kids would come and find me. Your kids pay attention to everything. For those of you guys that have children, they see you when you cry. They see you when you're sad. And I was doing nothing but hurting them. I was doing nothing but hurting them by staying, because I was afraid of being alone. Right now, I think back at it and I think it's selfish of me. I think it was selfish. But at the moment, I didn't see that. I didn't see it. I started doing things I never thought I'd do. Tolerate things I never thought I'd tolerate. And when I reached my breaking point, because I ended up reaching my breaking point after several years of being beaten and mentally abused, I reached my breaking point because the beatings had gotten so bad where I felt like I got to take his life because he gonna take mine. I started feeling like if I don't kill him, he gonna kill me. And then I got to thinking, well, if I kill him, then the boys won't have a mom. And if he kill me, then the boys won't have a mom nor a father. So I said to myself, I can't kill them because I don't want them to be motherless. So I knew that last beating was my breaking point. I knew I had to leave. I knew I had to leave. Now, this might not apply to some of you guys that don't have children. This might only apply to those who have children. And again, it might not apply to some of those that do have children because you might not be in an abusive relationship or mental abuse relationship. But I'm just giving you my scenario. I didn't think about how this could affect my children. I didn't think that my children could grow up at that moment. I start thinking later how my children could grow up angry. I start thinking how my children could grow up bitter and either beating on women or disliking women. And I got to thinking too, darn Tish, do you really want your boys to grow up like that? And I got to thinking to myself, I don't want that. I don't want that. So I prayed and I asked God to remove me from the situation because I was afraid. I was afraid of being alone and I was afraid of being a single mom. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know how to raise myself real good. I didn't raise myself. I went from under my parents' wings to his wings. I got married at 18. I had my first child at 19. I didn't know how to raise children. But I prayed and I asked God to step out on. I prayed and I asked God and I stepped out on faith. And that's what I did. So the message I want to give to you guys today is, do not stay in a relationship because you're afraid. And if you got kids, then think about how your kids will be affected by the situation. If they see their mother being unhappy, or if they see their mother being in arguments all the time, or if they see their mother being beaten, or if they see their mother crying, how would it affect them? And not only that, how will it affect you? What about you? What about you being in a relationship unhappy because you're afraid of being alone? Think about it. Is it really worth it? Do you really want to live the rest of your life like that? I'm here to tell you, you guys, y'all got strength. It's there. Mine was there all along. I was just afraid. You got strength. And you got God, most importantly. So I just want to tell you, never settle. Never settle. And I know it can be hard. Trust me, believe me, I know, because I've been there. I've been there. Nobody should be with nobody because they're afraid of being alone. And nobody should be with nobody because they're afraid of being a single parent. I've been a single parent but I got 14 and 15-year-old now. For 13 years. And through the grace of God, I've been doing it. I didn't think I would ever be able to do it. But I'm doing it. And some days I have bad days. And some days I've had good days. And some days I feel like, wow, this is really hard. This is hard. But I'm here to tell you that you can do it. So if you got children and you're in a relationship and you stand because you're afraid of being alone, or you're afraid of being a single mom or a single father, nobody should stay with nobody because they're afraid. Go spread your wings. It's a world out there. It's a world waiting for you. All you gotta do is spread your wings and fly. And know that it's gonna be tough times. But you gotta hold on to faith and get your strength up, baby. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. I love you all. I love you all. I hope and pray that this message really lifts you. Again, I stayed with somebody because I was afraid of being alone, and I was afraid of being a single mom. I've been a single mom for 13 years now. I done been in nursing school as a single mom. I done accomplished a lot, but I ain't gonna give it all to y'all because y'all gotta get the book. But I done accomplished a lot by myself. So I'm here to tell you that you can and you will. Y'all can do it. Y'all can do it. Believe, baby. Believe. Most importantly, pray and ask God to give you strength even when you feel weak. And He gonna give it to you. He there. And in case you didn't know, you got the strength. You're gonna be okay. I love y'all. God bless. I'm praying that this message help each and everyone that looks at it. I love y'all and have a great day.